This is a Christian Marriage Academy broadcast where we explore the depths of love and commitment in the context of Christian faith. The content you're about to receive is non-copyrighted material. You're allowed to share and spread the knowledge and empower others on their journey to build strong, Christ-centered marriages. And now, stay tuned for your host, Seth the teacher.
Hey, greetings to you, lovely people. Welcome to part 2 of our topic of discussion, the purpose of marriage. Now, in part 1, we learned that the purpose of marriage can be grouped under 2 main categories, that is, divine purpose and earthly purpose. From there, we learned that the earthly purpose likewise has 2 groups of purposes under it. That is, 1, marriage being a cooperative environment for effective livelihood, and 2, marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation. We treated the effective livelihood into detail, and we outlined many useful benefits like marriage giving you a helpmate for life, marriage giving you a facilitator for your purpose, marriage giving you an anchor for life, marriage being a medium for self-improvement, marriage being a medium through which you can preserve your wealth and lineage down to your descendants, and marriage being the best place to spend your old age. Now, in this part, we discuss the second group of purposes under the earthly purpose of marriage. That is, marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation. Let's dive in. So, when we talk about marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation, for those still confused, we basically mean that the collaboration of the husband and wife, you see, their joint action, their combined effort, or let me say their teamwork, creates an environment where children grow up effectively to become high quality people in the society. And therefore, the absence of this collaboration of the mother and the father in the life of the child yields the opposite result. And so, under the point of marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation, I'd like us to consider some purposes or some points which plays into this usefulness of marriage. That is, 1, marriage gives children a balanced social training. Yes, that is the first point we are going to treat under marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation. And the first point under this, or the first benefit of marriage under this, is that marriage gives children a balanced social training. So let's go into it. So people, per statistics, children raised in marriages end up far better in life than children raised by single parents. This is a fact. Children who come from single parent upbringing have much higher chances of suffering in different ways in life, which includes higher chances of being school dropouts, higher chances of being prone to depression, higher chances of being drug addicted, higher chances of indulging in early sex, higher chances of early pregnancy, higher chances for ending up in prison, and also higher chances of having difficulty in forming proper relationship, etc., etc. Now, I know some of you listening to me are quite familiar with this statistics and have heard it quoted around on the internet quite a bit, but guys, this phenomenon is as real as it gets. It's as real as it gets, because I've seen it for myself. You see, I've known And I still know numerous of people who are victims of this misfortune, single parent upbringing. I used to not take this issue seriously until I sat down to analyze all the people I've known in the present and in the past, whether my friends or in my family, who are obviously not okay. And the reality of this situation hit me in the face, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. They all come from single parents or broken homes. However, I also discovered that it wasn't just single parents and broken homes alone. Some of these people were born outside of marriage, and all these people are facing one or more major misfortunes in lives, but except one, you see. And analyzing this one person who is the exception to the rule made me to come to discover the real secret behind this phenomenon, and I'm about to share it with you guys. So please pay attention from this point going. This is very important, and here we go. There are two root causes of why children raised in single parents household grew up to face this high chances of misfortune in life. One is a physical cause, and the other is a spiritual cause. Now, let me explain the physical cause to you. But to understand this physical cause, you need to first of all understand how a father treats his child in different life situations versus how a mother will treat her child in that same situation. Because this is where the secret of the physical reason lies. To provide you with practical real life examples of this, I took my time to write some things down for you to observe, and I'm going to start reading as follows. So 1, let's start with communication and emotional expression. Okay, fathers may often encourage independence and self-reliance in their sons or daughters, thus promoting resilience and problem-solving skills in the child. So under this point, you can see that when a child completes, let's say JSS, and school placement is in, and they are yet to choose their schools, oftentimes the child may want to choose schools which are closer to their home, so that he or she will be able to still maintain the benefits that they are getting from home and be reaching out and coming home all the time, because the child wants something, or the child wants an experience that is softer for them to bear, and they are going to probably choose schools which are closer to them and closer to them, let's say in the same region. You see, but the father may say that no, listen, choose a school which is far distance. Choose, if you are, let's say, in Accra, choose a school which is in Kumasi. If you're in Kumasi, choose a school which is in Accra. If you're in Sunyani, choose a school which is in Kumasi, so that you are going to be self-reliant and you are going to be independent and become strong. The child may not like that, but the father is going to insist on that. And another example is this. So the child is in, let's say, high school, and he's always calling home. Mom, my needle is finished, my food is finished, my money is finished, this and that. The dad is going to say that, listen, I'm giving you this amount of money, and that is all you are going to use for your entire stay on campus. I'm going to give you this amount of provisions, and these are all the provisions that I'm expecting you to utilize this semester, or let's say this term. That's how they call it, term. So the child will now learn and adopt ways of having to maintain these resources and live by them in order not to squander them before the time finishes. And by so doing, the child is able to learn self-reliance and independence. Another example also is, let's say, when a child is in primary school or in, let's say, JSS, the child can be like, Mom, my socks is missing, I can't find my socks, expecting that the mom will come and search for the socks for him. But the father will be like, hey, listen, look for it yourself. Wherever you placed it, find it, and you are responsible for that socks. It's yours. Mom is sleeping, don't disturb mom. Look for it wherever you put it. So the child might find the socks, and the dad will be like, okay, so now you found the socks. Now this is where I'm expecting you to put the socks and keep it every day. Put it here, keep it here, don't lose it anymore. All these are encouraging independence and self-reliance in the child. And another example is, let's say, when the child is going to school, the mom might be like, yeah, you see how Kweku is always going to school hungry like that? No, let us prepare some food for him into the food flask or into the lunch box, so that when he gets to school, you'll be able to eat something in the morning before school. But the dad will be like, listen, Kweku, I'm giving you money. On the way going, buy some food on the way. Buy some porridge or buy some whatever, wache or any food on the way, and eat it. This is the amount of money I'm giving you, and you can't come and disturb your mom all the time like that, because she's probably sleeping early in the morning, or she's probably too tired late in the night to come and prepare extra food for you. That's why I'm giving you the money. Use it for yourself. So this style of treatment of children brings self-reliance and encourages independence in the child. So let me continue. I said fathers may often encourage independence and self-reliance in their sons, thus promoting resilience and problem-solving skills in the child. Now, mothers might prioritize emotional expression, providing a nurturing and empathetic space for their children to talk more about their feelings. So the child will be like, okay, so I'm in a high school, and the child will go home, mom, the seniors are bullying me. For me, I'm tired of this school. I can't go to school again. They are bullying me. And the mom will be like, wow, I'm so sorry. So why don't you come home this weekend so that you come and relax? But the father will be like, listen, if they are bullying you, stay strong through it, resist it, and these are how you are going to be able to deal with them. Let's say when they try to bully you, also stand your ground, stand up to them, resist them, and maybe they are going to flee from you. You see, the father is teaching the child resilience. Or let's say an example, when the child goes to school and comes home with a swollen face, the child explains, when I went to school, a friend of mine punched me in the face. You see, the dad will be like, hey, listen, next time when the child punches you, punch him back. But the mom will be like, no, he's going to be dismissed from school. But no. By so doing, the child now becomes self-reliant and independent and able to solving problems on their own, whilst the mother will be nurturing and more empathetic and giving space for the child to complain and talk about their feelings. And the mom is going to be more accommodative of the child's feeling. So I'm not saying that this style of treatment of mothers is bad per se, because no, all style of treatment from both mothers and fathers have their usefulness in the child. Now let's move to the second point, that is discipline and rules. And I said fathers may often focus more on enforcing rules and setting boundaries, that is emphasizing obedience and responsibility. So now, an example of this situation that I can give from the top of my head is that when you are living with a dad, typically your dad has his own stuff in the house. Let's say this TV, this radio, this watch, this glasses, this tape, this stuff, this and that, this picture hanging on the wall. The dad can warn you, don't touch this radio or don't touch this watch. This is mine. I'm hanging it here. If I come and you've touched it, or if I come and you've broken it, I'm going to deal with you. So the child will live in that house, but the child is going to exercise a sense of boundary and exercise a sense of obedience and responsibility, because he knows that there are certain boundaries that I'm not supposed to cross. There are certain things that I'm not supposed to touch. There are certain things that I'm not supposed to do in this house. So the presence of the dad in the house enforces in the brain of the child some sense of boundaries and some sense of obedience. Therefore, the child knows when they are crossing lines and crossing boundaries, and therefore they should be careful, else there are going to be consequences that come with it. So the child gets to learn that now this is action and consequence. I do this action and I receive these consequences. So the child grows up and now starts moving out with friends, and friends present drugs to the child. Now the child, being trained on boundaries and consequences in the house, will look at the drugs and say, if I take these drugs, this is how I'm going to suffer from it. Therefore, I should be careful about drugs, because deep down in my mind, I remember how my dad treated me. The child is not thinking about all these things consciously, but the training of the dad through setting of the boundaries and setting of consequences in the child's life now makes the child able to see danger and see that no, this thing is dangerous, I shouldn't play with it. Now, I've seen this for myself in my personal life experience. I remember I used to have a friend, and the friend was raised in a single parents household. The mom raised the friend. Now, it got to a point in our lives where I wanted to embark on a certain businesses online. So I called my friend and said, come and live with me so that you handle this side of the business, you handle this side, whilst I'm able to have time to also focus on this side of the profession. You bring your laptop, I have my computer already, then we delve deeper into this business. Now, this friend of mine came after about 4 to 5 days. The guy all of a sudden was sitting down quietly and told me, you see, I've been here for a while and I've not been eating. I'm always hungry, and when I'm home, my mom always cooks food for me early in the morning because I have ulcer, so I can't stay here. Meanwhile, we cook in the house. One time I returned from outside and I came home and the guy wasn't there. He has taken his computer and he has packed and he's gone. So now the third point is problem solving and independence. That is, fathers may often encourage their sons to take risks, or their daughters as well, to take risks, make decisions and solve problems independently, fostering a sense of autonomy. Mothers may, on the other hand, be more nurturing and supportive, offering guidance and assistance when needed. So I think for this point is self-explanatory. Then let's move on to the fourth point that I wrote down: role modeling and identity development. Fathers play a significant role in shaping their sons' gender identity and behavior. They can provide a masculine role model, teaching their sons about masculinity. I remember in school, this is many years ago when I was a kid in primary school, I used to play with the girls a lot, and one teacher made a comment about me. In fact, I got some question wrong. He called me to answer some question and I got it wrong, and he was like, yeah, that's Seth for you. All he knows is playing with the girls. That's why he's not able to answer this question. At first he used to be good, but now since he started playing with the girls, he's not able to answer these questions. Well, it wasn't quite an appropriate comment, but it really broke my heart. I, from that point, distanced myself a bit from the girls, because I got to a point in my childhood where I started playing with girls a lot, and that particular comment of that teacher really put me on my toes, and I was like, no, I have to start to be quite careful, and I started distancing myself from the girls. Well, people might say that it's not good. Yeah, he was teaching you to hate girls. No, that's not how the human brain works, because in this situation you won't say that you stop talking to the girls or stop dealing with them. No, you are going to deal with them in the secret, but you are going to hide it. You are going to pretend as if you are always moving with the guys, but in the secret you are still talking to them and visiting them in their houses and all these things. So it's fine. It just puts you on your toes and let you know that I am not a girl. You are a man, and therefore you should have a masculine frame and you should stick with your tribe and move with them. This is why this transgender issue in the US and all these Western world has become a problem, because there are no more fathers ensuring this, teaching their sons about masculinity and social expectation. This point is very important. Social expectations. What do I mean by this? I mean that the father is going to tell you point blank that, listen, this is the real world and this is what you are going to experience. This is what you should expect in the real world. If you are always hanging out with your friends and you are always moving out. Each now and then I'm looking for you, Kwaku, and I can't find you. Stop moving with your friends, else one of your friends might cause trouble and all of you will be arrested. And this is real life for you. Or say, hey, Ajwa, listen, you are going out wearing this short skirt or wearing this type of dressing. If you don't take care, you might get raped, or you might put yourself in a situation where you are going to tempt some people to rape you, or you are going to school. Yeah, be careful with guys. Stop entertaining these young guys, else you are going to get impregnated and you are going to lose your education and you are going to come home. Because if you come home, that is the end of you. I'm not going to take care of you again. Well, even though the father might not really do that specifically, that is, stop taking care of the child, but it is going to put a sense of fear and social expectation into the brain of the child that, okay, this is what I might expect in life and therefore I should be careful in all my dealings. And also I wrote that not just social expectations, but gender specific skills. So with this as an example, we are living in a family and the light bulbs, every time they die, the father is the one who picks up a chair and fixes the light bulbs. A time will come where the father will say that, no, we could listen, this time it's your turn. You've seen me doing all these things. Now pick the light bulb and come and fix it there. And right then, the boy will be able to now have a new skill. That is gender specific skill, you see, etc. And therefore, mothers on the other hand may often provide a more caring treatment which takes into account the weaknesses of the child and become more considerate about their child's feelings when faced with unpleasant situations. So let's say we are at home and we are coming to distribute the house chores. Now, we are looking for somebody to come and wash the plates. And Kwaku will be like, yeah, daddy, mommy, yeah, I'm going to wash the plates. And the dad will be like, hey, come, listen. Go at the back there and go and weed. Go and cut the grass in the backyard. And after that, come and pick ceiling brush and come and tear down the cobwebs. You see, even though the child wants to do the softer works, but the dad is going to teach the child a more gender specific jobs that are going to suit his capabilities. Or let's say the mom is like, Ajwa, go and wash the plates. And Ajwa is standing there crying and dragging her feet. And the mom will be like, Ajwa, so you don't want to do it? Go, leave, let me do it. You see. And now Ajwa is now free and she's happy watching TV. But the dad will come and be like, whether you cry water or whether you cry blood, you are going to do it. Until you finish doing this work, you are not going to be allowed to sleep in this house. And Kwaku will be lying down there. It's 10 p.m. and he has not even taken a shower. And the mom will be like, Kwaku, so you won't take your shower? And be like, Mama, Nikum, I want to sleep. And the mom will be like, okay, well, it's fine, you can bath tomorrow. But the dad will be like, hey, listen, Kwaku, go and bath, go and take your shower. Else I'm not going to allow you to sleep. The dad can even use soap to come and scrub the hair of Kwaku, or come and pour water on Kwaku to force Kwaku to go and take a shower. You see, these are differences in treatment that fathers and mothers perform onto their kids, but they play huge roles in the children. Now, the fifth and the last point under this section, communication style. I wrote this down, communication style. Fathers might use more direct and assertive communication styles when interacting with their children, encouraging assertiveness and confidence. So you see how in all these examples, the manner in which I was talking to the kids like father, it sounds like it's too harsh, but no, it is teaching the kids assertiveness and directness in standing for what they believe in standing their grounds and demanding what is due them. So the child might grow up and have a job, let's say an office job, and the boss is trying to exploit him and take too much advantage of him by paying him less. Now, a person raised in their childhood with a father like that will now be able to stand to the boss and be like, okay, boss, I've been working in this department for a long time, but my salary has stayed where it is. Please, I need a raise. The child will be able to now enforce his will on the world and not be passive and a pushover to the world. You see, so this type of treatment in the life of a child and in their upbringing really forms the child's mental strength and fortitude, as in how they deal with other people in the society. So in a household where the mom has been talking to the child so softly, the child grows up, and when he's faced with severity and harshness, the child is not able to cope with it. Example, one of my former students, and I told her, I don't want to see this type of dressing in my class. Cover yourself properly when you are entering my class. You know what happened? The girl got so much depressed for about a month, and she couldn't get over it. She was thinking about it. According to her own words, just me giving her boundaries, she experienced so much depression that she even lost weight just by that statement. And I knew that this girl comes from a home where she has been pampered. She has never been given boundaries and never been spoke to in an assertive and direct way by any strong figure in her life. And now she comes into the world and she can't cope with people who are in authority. So this is a very important point. And these 5 points are points that I think are very important. So guys, all these manner of treatments provided by both the mom and and especially the father, you see, gradually changes the nature of the child and builds them up to become more compatible with the world, being able to survive and succeed in all life situations. Why? Because their left brain and their right brains have been fed with the right kind of treatment to make them highly efficient. Because mind you, the home is a replica of the world, and so whatever conditions exist in the world should exist in the family as well. Yeah, this is a fact. So let's say if the real world contains danger, harshness, toughness, loneliness, etc., the child is supposed to have a bit of a taste of these conditions, so that when they grow up and they enter the real world, they'll be able to face all of that. You see, that's very important. So this is the physical reasons why children raised by single parents fall into so many unfortunate outcomes in life. And I think I've been able to go much into it. Now let's talk about a spiritual reason. And this is even stronger than the physical reason stated above, because it is very possible for a child to be raised in a single parent household to grow up to become normal like any other person. However, the spiritual consequences, you are bound to suffer from it. Now, to understand what happens spiritually that makes children raised in improper families end up having higher chances of misfortune, you'd have to first of all know the mystery of marriage and what happens in the marriage ceremony. As I said, I have a full topic to treat in this area, but let me go a bit into it. I think you would understand it and it will be able to prepare the way for it. So in the marriage ceremony, we invite guests, friends, family to come and watch the event. But ask yourself, what are they coming to observe? They are there to observe the couple marrying take their vows. You get me? They are there to witness to you two taking your vows and oaths to stick together for better, for worse. Now, guess who also is in attendance? God. Because ask yourself, why do we often hold weddings in churches? We do so because we want God to be the witness, and we want the priest, the pastor, or whoever to officiate it and also be a witness. So now we are inviting God not only to come and be witnesses to the oaths that we are performing, but we are also inviting God to be present in the marriage and in the journey that we are about to embark on. So now, whether it's the traditional type of marriage or the white wedding, Bibles are still exchanged, and this is done to signify that we are inviting God to come and preside over this marriage. Now, this is the mystery. We've granted God access to our marriage, and now God starts his work. God now protects the marriage and gives special blessings. There's a Bible quotation in Malachi, but I don't want to go into it now. As I said, I'm going to push it into the future. So God gives the marriage a specific blessing and covering and protection for the marriage. And this blessing and covering for the marriage, the children also enjoy it spiritually. But now, after the divorce, that special covering of God and special protection of God over that marriage gets lifted. It gets lifted right away. And as it gets lifted, it also gets lifted off the kids. And that special blessing could be in any way. It could be increased financial status, just like how I said in part 1. But I don't want to go into it now. But that covering which the kids benefited from now is taken away. So now the kids are empty. The kids now are spiritually naked. And mind you, for a person to be considered spiritually to have a mother and a father, they should be married. Immediately after the marriage bond breaks after divorce, there's nothing like any consideration that this man or this woman is the father and mother of this children or these children. No. It is the marriage that testifies to their parenthood. Spiritually, there's nothing like single parents or single mother. There's only parents. And the marriage of the parents is what is the testament of these children having mothers and fathers. So now, after divorce, the kids are now considered spiritually fatherless. This is a very huge mystery that almost nobody knows. The kids are now considered spiritually to be fatherless and motherless. This is where Satan steps in. And Satan now becomes like the adopted guardian or ruler of the child. So after every divorce, the children are rendered naked spiritually to demonic manipulations and influences people. And this is a spiritual reason why children raised by single parents or children who are born out of wedlock, that is born out of marriages. And mind you, if you give birth to a child out of marriage, the child too suffer this fate, people. But I don't want to go into it. Let us push it to another time. Yeah. And also apart from my vetting program, I'm also going to hold prayer sessions and deliverance sections with my team of men of God who are gifted and anointed to deal with these problems facing people. Because many people are struggling to find marriage because of the spiritual bondages that came as a result of them being born in broken homes and being born outside of marriage. Because when that situation occurs, it's not all the time that Satan is going to cause your life to have higher chances of dropping out from school or being depressed or ending up in jail or being addicted to drugs or having teenage pregnancy and all these things. These are just few points of the attacks that are likely to come upon your life. Some too are going to be struggles to get marriage, struggles to get financial breakthrough. All these problems, if you check the root cause of them, you might probably trace it back to the upbringing of the child. People, so still discussing marriage being a cooperative environment for effective procreation, and we've discussed marriage giving children a balanced social training, and I listed so many points where the training of a father and a mother can contribute to the development of the child. Now let's move to the second and the last point under this procreation category, and we are going to end this part with it. Now, 2, marriage is a security for pregnancy. This point is very important. Ladies, listen. Marriage is the best thing to ever happen to women, because listen, women lose the most when pregnancies occur, especially when it's unplanned. Yeah. Do you know that just one unwanted pregnancy can change the course of your destiny forever? Just one unwanted pregnancy can make you quit your education. Yep. Just one pregnancy can make you say goodbye to your vision or whatever goals you had in life, and you have to quit not by choice but by necessity. Now, haven't you heard from many mothers who advise their daughters and say, stay away from casual relationship, Adwa, because pregnancy ruined my dreams. Some will say, I had the goal of becoming a teacher or a nurse, or let's say a doctor. But after I got pregnant, I had to quit my education to take care of you, Adwa. So I'm advising you, take your education seriously and don't tolerate these young boys. We hear this from some of my moms. Yeah. Because look, this is what happens when you get pregnant. So when you get pregnant, by the 4th or the 5th month, your tummy begins to rise. Your tummy begins to look obvious to people. So if you are still schooling, within 4 months or 5 months, you'd have to quit school. Because first of all, you are shy. You don't want people to see that you are pregnant. So now you come home and by 9 months, you deliver. Now, right from there, you start breastfeeding your baby. So now 1 year has come, you are breastfeeding your baby and you are going to keep on breastfeeding your baby up until, let's say, 2 to 3 years. And day by day, all throughout that time, you are still taking care of that baby. And you don't have the liberty to do any other thing. By the time the child is, say, 4 years or 5 years, when he or she is able to become self-reliant a bit, all your mates are gone. They've bypassed you in school. Now you can't go back to school. You've lost the interest. Because mind you, after you give birth, your mindset now shifts from long-term hopes, as in going to school. Because what is school? School is just about you going day by day in hopes that one day you may get a certificate and use that certificate to find a job. So school is intangible. You are just going to school with the hopes of one day succeeding with your education. But after you get pregnant, now your mindset shifts into survivor mode. Now, all that you are thinking about is how to make money right now to take care of your child. So education is off your table. Now you have to come start selling some stuff in order to make fast money to take care of your child, you see. But however, if you are lucky and you have, let's say, a mom in your life, and your mom is able to hold you up and assist you with taking care of the baby, say from the ages of 2 years and up, well, you might say that, well, I'll go back to school. But listen, parenthood or motherhood comes with some sense of bond with your child and some sense of caretaking for your child, to the extent that your motivation even to separate from your child to go to school now comes so much reduced. And now all that you are thinking is about how to take care of your child. And mind you, some probably will be asking, where is the child's father? Now listen, the child's father, if only the child's father is going to accept the baby, then fine, you are lucky. But some guys are going to be stubborn. They will deny that they are responsible. So if you are lucky and the child's father accepts the baby, then fine, you have 1 point in your favor. So now, look at this. The father now starts giving you what? Child support. No, in Ghana, there's nothing like giving child support in Ghana. So now, the father would have to be visiting your home to give you money every month by his own decision. Well, then fine, you are lucky. That is if he's well-to-do. And if the father is a student, then it's a whole new problem. But look, the guy who impregnated you is going to move on. He's now, listen, women are the ones who get pregnant. Men don't. So the child father has taken off and he's going to live his life. So even if he pays you the money, or even if he gives you the money every month and he does its mobile money, it can be 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years and you've not seen him again. Because mind you, men have a particular mentality, which is the mentality of dipping out when they mess up in life or when they mess up in certain things. They try to save their faces. That is the irresponsible types. So now the guy is somewhere living his best life. Whether he still wants to continue the relationship with you or not, that is his own decision to make. Because mind you, women control their sex to sex and men control their sex to marriage. For sex to occur, a woman must give the consent that this sex should occur. I am allowing it. But for marriage, the guy is the one who is going to give it to you. So listen, women, ladies, listen. You can be kind enough to offer yourself to the guy for sex. But ask yourself, would he be kind enough to offer you marriage? This is what you should ask yourself. Anytime a guy is soliciting for sex from you, ask him, so you want me to be kind to you and give you my womb? Because listen, mind you, anytime you give yourself to a guy to have sex with you as a woman, you are giving him your womb, because pregnancy comes through sex. And therefore, anytime you give access to your womb to a guy, you are putting your life on the line. You are putting a whole lot of risk on the line. You have a lot to lose. You are putting your future on the line. You are putting your dreams, aspirations, and goals on the line. You are putting the course of your destiny on the line anytime you give access of your womb. I don't want to say vagina, because vagina is just a canal, it's a cavity, but the main center of reproduction is the womb. And what is he going to give you in return? Is he also going to be kind enough, just like how you are? Is he going to be kind enough to offer you access of marriage? You see, this is where you get to know that many of you girls are being too kind to guys who don't deserve it. So now, ladies, utilize marriage to your advantage. Utilize marriage. That is why God created marriage. So ask him, my friend, now you want sex, right? So are you going to give me marriage? You want me to give you access to my womb? Or even if you protect yourself, I am still offering to you my most valuable asset as a woman. That is my body. Because if I give you free access of my body and you don't marry me, you have devalued me and taken advantage of me. And it's a huge disservice and cheat to the man who is going to marry me in the future. The man who is going to pay the cost to marry me and take care of me. So ladies, preserve your value, preserve your sanctity and the sacredness of your body by utilizing marriage to your advantage, because marriage is a security for pregnancy. Because as part of the vows that are taken during the wedding, the man is pledging to take care of you and to take care of your children. And marriage is what is set up to ensure that. And mind you, abortion is out of the table. Abortion is too dangerous. Listen, every time you perform an abortion, you put your reproductive health on the line, even the chances of you dying. Because listen, the sulfur clamps that they use to perform the abortion, whether in the first trimester or in the second trimester, that sulfur clamp, as they are clamping on the fetus and they are pulling the fetus out of your womb and tearing apart the fetus, the doctor is doing it blindly. And there's a high chance that the sulfur clamp is going to perforate the walls of your womb, the walls of your uterus. And when that happens, this is when you come home and you are bleeding. Or let's say during the evacuation process, the dilation and the evacuation process of the fetus out of your womb, and the doctor is pulling the babies out. And if let's say one tiny particle of part of the baby is left in your womb, this is when your body now starts to expel the particle with blood and with bleeding. And that tiny residue of the part of the baby left inside of your womb can cause excessive bleeding to the point of you dying. That is why many women, they come back from abortion and they come and bleed and they die, because so many things can happen. Abortion is off the table. Please, ladies, I love you too much. Don't put your life at risk. And even sometimes it will happen that if you are rhesus negative and the baby is rhesus positive, the intermingling of your blood, that is the blood from the baby, and you, the blood from your womb, can cause every subsequent pregnancy to terminate automatically. That is why some women, they perform one abortion or two abortions and they can't have babies anymore. They get pregnant and they lose their babies through miscarriages. This is because the blood of their baby and the blood of themselves, their own blood, aren't compatible. Rhesus is called rhesus factor. You do your research on this and you get to see what I'm talking about. So ladies, please stay strong. We love you. Preserve your value. And I don't know if my statements have made some of you quite sad. Maybe some of you have done certain things which you are not so proud of. Please don't feel sad. Jesus loves you and God is willing to forgive you no matter what you think you've done that is unfitting. The fact that you've regretted and you are sad is enough, and it's enough proof for God to forgive you, and that is all. All that you have to do is to now know how to conduct your life from henceforth. And my doors are open. My name is Seth, the teacher. You can see that I've put a message me button at the top of my page, my Telegram page. So if you want to have any personal counseling or any personal advice or personal questions that you want to ask me, I'm here. I've come to stay. I'm coming for the long haul. God has been pushing me for many years of my life to do this, but I was somewhere doing my own stuff, not heeding the call. But now I've heeded the call, and I'm doing this now to help and serve my fellow Christians. So please, and try to make this group lively. I want to hear your comments. Feel free to message me if it is something private you want to discuss with me. Maybe something is bothering you, you are confused about taking certain decisions. Please feel free to do that. And if your question is open and you think that the answer can benefit other people, you can also do so by commenting openly and asking your question openly, and I'm going to do that and answer you. So people, it's been a lovely time. There are more things to learn, there are more things to talk about. So I'd like to end everything here by thanking you for being present with me. My name is Seth, the teacher.